Last year, Realme C1 was the best budget phone that you could get under 6,000 pesos. This year, the company is following it up with the Realme C2. Marketed as the real entry-level king, will Realme C2 be able to provide a better bargain than its predecessor? Let's find out. In the world of glass-clad phones, Realme C2 is a refreshing sight with its all-polycarbonate build. Sure, it may not be as premium as other phones, but we do appreciate the grippy texture it sports rather than a glossy plastic finish. In an abstract diamond design, the back is grippy when held, removing any worries of dropping this phone. But even though you drop this thing, it's not like it's going to easily shatter like most phones of today. Just like last year, there's no fingerprint scanner here. You will have to rely on its face unlock. More on that later. At 6.1 inches, the Realme C2 is a comfortable phone to use even with one hand. There's Gorilla Glass 3 protection against scratches, so that's a good thing. Given it's a budget phone, it's worth noting that the bezels are not larger than most expensive phones. Sure, it comes with a teardrop notch, but that lets you interact more with the screen. What bothers us rather is the 720p resolution on the screen. Maybe next year, Realme wouldn't mind making 1080p as the standard for budget phones. Onto the camera. Realme C2 comes with a 13-megapixel f2.2 sensor with a 2-megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. Overall quality seems to be decent. Sharpness is lacking even with decent lighting, while colors remain to be on the natural side. One of the phone's weaknesses is the dynamic range as it often crushes shadows. Even with the addition of a depth sensor, portrait shots aren't impressive with inaccurate cutouts and soft quality. Unfortunately, it's the same story with selfies when using its 5-megapixel f2.0 sensor. With Helio P22 powering Realme C2, you will be baffled to know that it's better than last year's Snapdragon 450. Based on the 12nm process, it's a slightly efficient chipset that has its 8 CPUs clocked up to 2.0 GHz. In day-to-day tasks, that translates to smooth experience. As far as social media goes, it's good enough. Where the experience starts to fall apart is when gaming. While it can play games like PUBG on the lowest settings, you will definitely experience frame drops. For a budget phone like the Realme C2, you really shouldn't be looking this as a cheap gaming phone. It's made for getting the most tasks done. When it comes to biometrics, Realme is bragging its AI facial unlock, shooting 128 identification points to your face that allows for up to 0.3 seconds unlocking. In practice, well, it's fast, but once you do this in a dark environment, it's faster to draw a pattern or type a PIN code to unlock the phone. Using the single down-firing speaker, it gets loud enough to bother other people, but the quality is on the teeny side. Good thing there's a headphone jack as an alternative. With a 720p display and low-power chipset, you're going to have a hard time killing the phone's battery. During light use, you can easily reach a full day in half, while heavy use will leave you around 15 to 20% in the tank by the end of the day. Too bad there's no fast charging here. Expect a 2-hour charge with this one. The Realme C2 is unbeatable in terms of value for money as it offers all the specs for a budget phone in 2019. It starts at 5,490 pesos and goes up to 6,490 pesos. Overall, it performs reliably for a budget phone with a few hiccups in areas like heavy gaming titles and low light photography. What do you think of the Realme C2? Let us know in the comments section. As always, don't forget to visit manilashakers.com for the latest tech news and reviews.